Hi, this is Ken at Ball Python Investments. Today I'm going to do a little bit of a review of a product that I'm very happy with. This is called the SIM container, S-I-M. It's actually available at simcontainer.com, and it's made by Squamata Concepts. I'll show you the name there on the lid. A very great incubation container, especially for your smaller species, anything that's going to lay smaller eggs. You've seen in my other videos with python eggs, for example, I use a standard shoebox with some sort of substrate on the bottom with some water in it, and then lighting crate above the top. So the eggs sit on top of that and are never actually in contact with the water or with the moist substrate. This is the same idea. As you can see, you would fill this up with water. You actually don't even have to have any substrate at all. And then the eggs are just going to sit on top of this little tray. The genius part about this design to me, again for smaller eggs, is this little sheet here that the eggs are going to sit on. And these ridges, which are movable, take one off there, so you can set these to whatever width you want this to be spaced out to hold your eggs. Just a great concept, very well made. Simple design, as I said, but nobody else had done it before them. And it's just a great idea. So space these out however you want to hold your eggs. I'll show you that in a moment. And then this is just going to sit down. In the middle here you have these little ridges that will catch the tray and keep it suspended above the water or your substrate. Now this is designed, as I said, to just have water down here. You don't need any substrate at all. I'm always a little bit worried that carrying this downstairs to the incubator, I may have a tendency to let the water slosh a little bit and get up on the eggs. So to avoid that, and because I'm trying to use up all the vermiculite I have, I'll just fill this up with a bunch of vermiculite, pour in a bunch of water at the right temperature. For colubrids, about 82 degrees is where I incubate, and just enough substrate to keep it from splashing around if there's a little bit of movement. But you don't have to do anything with ratios, like if you're going to bury your eggs partially submerged in, say, vermiculite, you have to get the ratio just right. You don't want them to be too wet so your eggs don't absorb too much moisture, and you can avoid that completely with this. I use this for colubrid eggs. I have for years. Works fantastic. It'll be completely sealed when you close this up. If you're somebody that prefers air holes, you could probably punch them in the top here. Or even better, melt them with a little hot iron that most of us use for poking holes in the side of our tubs anyways, that we've been doing for years. I particularly don't. I keep it sealed. Every once in a while I'll open it up to look inside and just check on the eggs, but that's not even necessary either, being clear. You can just look at them through the sides if you have glass or windows of some sort in your incubation container. Or your incubator, or you can just pull this out and look through the lid, take them off if you need to. But again, there gets a little bit of air exchange while I'm looking at them. If you weren't going to do that, you might pop a couple holes in here, small ones. Again, the purpose is to keep the humidity close to 100% in here, with water evaporating around the eggs at all times. So I wouldn't put too many air holes, but a really well thought out product. I'll show you it here. This is a container with some colubrid eggs. Get the lid off here for you. And you can see how well it works. You can see all the condensation on the lid. And these are Mexican black king snake eggs. And you can see here these are just set, as I mentioned, to the perfect dimension to hold your egg without rolling. There's a little bit of play, but that's perfect. And of course you can see you could get more in here if you needed. This just was a smaller clutch. And actually a couple eggs went bad in incubation, but no fault of the incubation container. And you can see how they sit there. And looking at it from the side, you can see here very moist vermiculite in there, but no ability for any water to slosh around. And getting a little bit lower, you can see no chance of any moisture coming in contact with the eggs, which is the most important part, and also facilitated by this being vented down here. I will mention there's a little bit of moisture on this piece as well, but not enough to worry about. The eggs look fine from below. And They're actually due to hatch in about less than 2 weeks. So we'll get the lid back on here. Again, I keep it completely sealed, no air holes at all. And it just sits in the incubator like that. And this is the payoff. Some colubrids hatching. These are Mexican black king snakes. Again, a small litter. In this particular case, because these 4 eggs were adhered to each other, I just took these little dividing ridges out of the way, put them on either side here to hold those 2 eggs, and there's actually one more snake in this egg yet to hatch. But I wanted to get this video up to show you. Works like a charm every time. So that again is the SIM container, S-I-M, and it's available at simcontainer.com. Hope you enjoyed it. Thanks for watching. We'll see you next time. If you haven't yet, please consider subscribing to my channel and liking or hitting the little bell icon so you can be notified each time we upload a new video. Thanks again.